Hi there, Stampers. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. I've still got a little bit of a cold. I apologize for my voice, but I am here to share a fun fold card with you today. We are going to be making a Z fold card, but rather than our standard landscaped version of a Z fold, we're going to turn it on its ear and we're going to make it portrait size. So it's a really simple one today because I'm not feeling very well, but it's enough, hopefully enough of a little bit of a inspiration that it gets you into your craft room and playing around. We're going to use a masking technique and the product of the month. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are down on my desk, and as I said, we're going to use the product of the month, which is the Notes of Spring. This is what they brought out for March. This is a stamp set that you can earn with a qualifying order. If you place an order for $75 or more, you can get this for just $5, and it's a really great two-step stamping. And then I'm pairing it with this beautiful paper. Sparkle something. I just dropped it from my head. Sorry about that. It's in the description, the paper we're using, but it's got these gold and silver foil flakes to it, which I just think is gorgeous. So you can tell this is the paper we're playing around with. I've got it all cut up because that's mostly what we're using. I really loved this. I don't know. I got to find some way to use that into cards or do a scrapbook page out of it. And that's, of course, the side with the foil, and then the back of it just has some non-foil designs, but still has those beautiful bright colors that I think are going to be great for spring. Okay, for our card, we're going to start out with a standard card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. But then I'm also going to score the front in half. And so this I scored at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And I'm folding it normal in the middle, like with the valley fold. And then I'm making a mountain out of this one to make it go back. And then I have this strip that is 8.5 by 1 1/4. And we're going to do the reverse. We're going to score it at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, but we're going to flip it around and it's going to go this way. So that's what's going to create our Z, is we're going to put our 4 1/4 on this side and the 2 1/8 over here. So reverse of what I have on the base. Then we're going to take down 1/4 of an inch from this. So our layers will then be I had lined up the pattern. Now I don't know what I did. I don't know. Anyway, you don't have to line up the pattern, just something I do that I get weirded out about. Excuse me. But these layers are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And yeah, we are making a birthday card out of this. Good call. Yeah, very easy card because I'm not feeling well. So I wanted quick and easy for today. And sometimes we need that. I mean, I love a fun fold because that's just what I do. But sometimes we need things to be quick and easy. And so that's what we have here today. In the inside, it's going to be 4 by 5 1/4, of course, our regular layer. And then on here, I have a 1 inch strip that I cut into 4 inches, 1 7/8 and 1 7/8. So we can go ahead and just adhere those down because this one actually doesn't take any die cutting. This would fit in as a Stamping Made Simple because I'm not using any die cuts. Like I said, I wanted quick and easy so that my voice didn't give out. And so that's what we're doing. So we're just going to lay these layers down normal, although I'm going to skip putting down the white layer because we're going to do some stamping onto that one. And I try to get you guys to stamp before adhering. So I'm going to work on that too. That way, if I make a mistake, we can flip it over and try again. My base is Pretty in Pink, and I believe this pink here is Bubble Bath, but the two of them go together very well. And then they're paired with, it seems like a mix of Balmy Blue and Pool Party. It's just really pretty. Okay, I picked up this stamp set and kind of looked at the blobs that are in here, and the blobs are actually for filling in things. Like this is supposed to be the greenery for the wheat, I guess what this is. This is for the flowers. Of course, the bunny, the duck, the deer. But these to me looked like clouds. So I decided to try it out with the Balmy Blue ink. So here's our little one. Here's the other. Let's see. It's probably a little big, but I've already got stamps on my other blocks that are here. Okay, so in Balmy Blue, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stamp randomly a couple different clouds. Okay, then I'm going to take this littler one and I'm going to just kind of fill in those other blanks. See, doesn't it look like the sky? And we're using what should be greenery, but I just stamped in blue and we're good. Because it went off a little bit, I'm going to use my Simply Chamois and just take some of that off, the ink that would have ended up on my glass mat. I'm really liking the glass mat. I've always used it, but I've usually had to put my grid paper over the top, which is fine, but this reflected, and so my husband actually sprayed it with a matte clear spray, and now it doesn't have the sharp reflection of my overhead light. So thank you to him for doing that. Okay, on this one, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to bring in Pretty in Pink. Now this is one of the colors going away. So if you liked the 2024 to 2026 in colors, I would suggest shopping now, because things are already on low inventory for Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. So if those colors are your favorites, go stock up, because they're going to disappear because new product is on the way. Several of my friends are at On Stage in Long Beach. I was kind of a little bit bummed I didn't register, but now that I'm sick, I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. So kind of a bummer. I know they're out there having fun. It's been all over Facebook. Okay, so this one I can go ahead now and I can put on the inside. I have seen some pictures of new product coming, and that's kind of exciting. They've got some great new things, and I haven't even seen it all yet because I'm not there. Like I said, I'm just getting those sneak peeks from social media. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to fold this all up because I want just this small section to adhere over here, but I want my card to close. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it up the way it would be when it's closed, put my adhesive, and then I'm just going to close my card. And that's going to make sure that it places in exactly the right spot. I mean, all logic says that I could just butt this up on the edge, and as long as it's clean on this edge and clean on this edge, it should all match up. But I like the idea of having that confidence that it's definitely going to close and go flat. Excuse me. Now, I purchased these and haven't had a chance to use them yet, and spring has sprung, and these little pieces are great for matching with the Easter basket bundle that came out, or using for cards all on their own. And so I was playing around with these and decided to use some of them on the front. And there I had grabbed that tulip. You can use the yellow one this time. But there's yellow and pink, and oh, there's the other pink one. Maybe I should use pink. Okay. But that allows us to get kind of an Eastery spring feel without having to do extra stamping. Or if you want to pair it with the Easter basket bundle, it works beautifully for that too. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick this on here. And now we're ready to make our focal point. And I initially had intended to put a circle down here and have greenery come out from behind it. But then I noticed you can see part of the sentiment from the inside, which wasn't my intention. So I decided to use circles. And so I'm going to take a 2-inch circle and then a 1 3/4 inch circle. And I'll be able to place that on here and use it to cover up the inside sentiment, as well as give me a focal point. But I have to be careful that I'm only putting adhesive on half, because I don't want to glue it shut. So I'm just kind of centering it overall on my card front. And then I'm going to use this to stamp the little bunny. So I'm going to come in with him in Smoky Slate. And I stamped him and thought, oh, you know, he's adorable. I love it. But he needs a little something. So I brought out my Stampin' Blends. So since we're using Pretty in Pink, I'm going to use my Pretty in Pink blend to do his ear. And a little bit for his nose. And then I'll take my dark balmy blue and I'm just going to put a little bit over the gray. So it gives him a dark blue eye, which is actually really pretty in person. You wouldn't think it'd make that much difference going over the top, but it kind of does. Okay, but still, he's a little boring, right? I could decide to color him in gray. Excuse me, but I thought I would put him in a bunch of grass. So in order to do that, I need to cover him up with a piece of masking paper. So Stampin' Up! Has this great masking paper that kind of has, I don't know, Post-it note kind of thing on the back. So you probably could use Post-it note. But this is sticky all over. And I stamped the bunny again, and I fussy cut him out really close to the line with my paper snips. And then I'm going to place this over the top. So I'm just covering up my bunny. Then I wanted to stamp the greenery. So I've got my larger greenery. But I stamped it straight in garden green because this is garden green, but this is lighter than this is. So I decided that for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up, but then I'm going to stamp off before stamping onto my project. and this is going to make for a lighter green. So it's still going to be garden green, but it's going to be lighter. Okay, and he looks like he's really buried in there, right? Let's give a little bit of grass on the bottom so that those are not floating. So I'm using kind of a swirling motion with my blending brush, making sure that my harsh mark is on the scrap paper before going on to the project. I'm going to bring in Balmy Blue and do just a little bit of sky. So I need to sharpen my punch. Okay, so and it kind of looks like a mess now, right? But the beauty of the masking paper is that now I can just peel this off and it's going to reveal my bunny, and he's still going to be all white. So isn't that great? And I just think this with the stamped off looks a whole lot better than the full strength, especially when we put it up against the other greenery. And I'm going to stick this right on the front. And then I used some, these are the 2024-2026 resin dots. I don't know if they have run out yet. Being in colors, they're going to be running out shortly if they're not already. But I'm going to match these to my card front. And there we have our portrait style Z-fold card. So have you all done this in a portrait style, or have you all been like me and been doing it in landscape? I mean, the landscapes are beautiful, but I was surfing Pinterest and saw this in portrait and thought, duh, why hadn't I already thought of that before? Okay, so that is today's card. I will be back on Monday. Hopefully I'm feeling better. I do have my card picked out for Monday because somebody sent me a card that I thought was just beautiful. So we're going to do this fold. I'm not going to do this paper and everything. I'm not copying it exact, but this is the fold we will do on Monday. Sorry, this part opens up. Okay, so it's got a card and then it folds flat for mailing, but it's got this pillar on the side. So that's what we'll do on Monday. You have until Saturday. You have until Saturday to register for my spring class. The Easter basket class has been super popular. It was surprising how many people have already registered for that, but you can still get in on that. There are 6 different fun fold cards. For $49, you get all the pre-cut cardstock plus some DSP and envelopes and stuff all mixed in there. You get a bunch of product for $49, and then for $25, you get just the videos and the PDF. So you have to do that by Saturday. I've already ordered a bunch of the product, so it's in. I've been cutting pieces. I don't know if you can see back there, but see those envelopes back there are starting to fill up with all the pre-cut pieces for your cards. So I will add that to my description as soon as we're done here. And I look forward to sharing with you soon, hopefully having my voice back. Thanks so much. Bye.